Hello. Welcome to the first episode of Nordic Sports News Podcast, the world's first cross-country ski and biathlon podcast, with daily news from around the globe. Please subscribe to this podcast and follow our YouTube channel, Spotify and Instagram. Just type Nordic Sports News on these platforms and access our content. Now, let's get to the news. Today we start with biathlon. The French biathlon team will fly to Norway on November 4th, the site of their final training camp in preparation for the upcoming Olympic season. Active last weekend in Arsène for the French Summer Championship, the French team's biathletes returned to intense training for the last part of the off-season in Sjøen, Norway, for 10 days. But first, not least, they will spend a few days on the Tignes Glacier in France. And already in Norway, they will refine ski preparation, equipment and technique. At the end of the preparation in Norway, the French team will participate, in Sjøen, in the opening race of the Norwegian biathlon season, on November 13th and 14th. The competition will be an opportunity for the French team to race in a sprint and a mass start and assess their form, 2 weeks before the start of the Biathlon World Cup. Now, a story of resilience in Russian biathlon. Russian athlete Evgeny Garanichev, who in the past 2 seasons has found it difficult to show results, will continue his career in Sergei Bashkirov's training group, with Alexander Loganov as teammate. The bronze medalist at the 2014 Sochi Olympics explained to RT that he spoke with his wife and she wants him to continue because he knows how passionate he is about biathlon, and that his family supports and motivates him enormously. The support of Garanichev's family will be key next season in his quest for Olympic qualification. Now we're on with today's news about cross-country ski. It is decided that the Norwegian athlete Helene Marie Fossum will not go to the next training camp at altitude. At the end of the week, the Norwegian women's cross-country ski team will fly to Italy without Helene Marie Fossum. She fell ill shortly after her previous altitude training camp, and the Norwegian prefers to stay in her country to follow a training plan that paid off last year. National team coach Ole Morten Iversen explained to VG that Helene is now in good shape and has learned a lot from Livigno and Levaze's training camp, but she had better skip this upcoming period of altitude training. And the subject of altitude training is also bringing controversy in the Norwegian men's team. Traveling to high altitude or not, that was the big theme of the Norwegian cross-country ski team this week. The distance team took a different stance than Johannes Klæbo and the sprinters chose. For the athlete Hans Christer Holland, ideally, they should be at altitude, but he doesn't see good alternatives. Emil Iversen says he had nice training camps at altitude, but right now, there would be many downsides for him. Sier Rota, on the other hand, claims to be more confident training in Norway than traveling to altitude. In other words, the team will prioritize being as well prepared as possible for important events at the beginning of the season and not traveling to altitude. At the same time, sprint team coach Arild Monsen, Johannes Klæbo and 4 other sprinters are now in Livigno, Italy, for a 2 or 3 week training camp at an altitude of 1,800 meters, and the same air conditions they will find during the Beijing Olympics in February. Coach Arild Monsen justifies the team's choice to travel to altitude, saying their athletes in general have less sensitivity than endurance athletes to train and compete in thin air. Now, changing countries, but not sport. Russian athlete Alexander Bolshunov underwent his second operation in just 1 month. Operated on for inflammation of the gums in September, Bolshunov, this time, had to remove a cyst formed in his upper jaw. The first operation prevented him from participating in the World Roller Skiing Championship in Italy. And now, the best cross-country skier on the planet has had to go through the operation again, after a cyst formed in his jaw after his first surgery. Match TV spoke with their coach Yuri Borodovko, who said that the athlete's recovery will take between 10 and 12 days. Bolshunov's return is scheduled for early November in Finland, where he will finally return to the snow. And to finish the first episode of Nordic Sports News, let's go to the latest news. The Olympic flame has already reached China. As reported by the Chinese agency Xinhua, after being lit on Monday in ancient Olympia, the sacred Olympic flame has already reached Beijing, where it was received by local authorities, before being placed inside the Beijing Olympic Tower, near the stadium bird's nest where it will be displayed. The Olympic torch will then begin its journey through some areas of China, including Heilongjiang Province, Jilin Province, Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, and Tianjin Municipality, where winter sports are very popular. From February 2 to 4, 2022, the torch relay will take place in the 3 competition areas of Beijing, Yanqing, and Zhangjiakou, with the participation of 1,200 torchbearers. And that's all for today. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Just type Nordic Sports News on these platforms and access our content. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow in the next episode. Information credits for Nordic Mag, NRK, VG, Match TV and Fondo Italia.